Return to
Hop down, buddy. Hop down, please. Please hop down. Please hop down. Oh, thank you for the lay. What are dogs really doing when they lick you? Human beings like to pretend, oh, it's a kiss. He's giving you a kiss. It doesn't feel like a kiss. It feels just like he's trying to taste me. Because if he was bigger, he'd probably eat me, maybe. His natural instincts are like, if I was the size I used to be before I was bred to be a pocket pet, and I saw you in the wild, I would have latched onto your arm like it was a soup bone and ripped it from your body and nourished my soul with human meat. Welcome back to That's a Shame. I haven't said it in so long. We're not fetching right now. That's a shame. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to keep each one of these maybe like thematic. Keep a theme to each one. Maybe that'll help. I don't know. Help something in some way. And what's really on the tip of my mind lately, bro, is I'm a single man now. Not even I'm saying it like it's recent. It's been damn near a year already. Time flies when you're getting divorced. Should be the saying. Everybody gets separated, embarks on their divorce, and they blink and they're like, God damn, I've been in the middle of a divorce for 13 months. But yeah, I'm single now, and obviously, I'm doing dating apps, which is just, it's fun. It's fun in like the same way that eating like Doritos is fun. There's like a dopamine rush you get because it's like you get a match, or on Hinge's cases, like you can see the chicks who have liked your profile. And it's basically, I'm not even there to like to date women. You're just almost there to be like, cool. A woman said, yeah, you're attractive. Yeah, I like your vibe. I like the prompts you have and the things you put together in this profile. I'm basically just getting a hit of a woman sort of being like, I'd potentially bang you. And that's not healthy or conducive to finding a woman to, cook and clean for you and stuff, I'm kidding. Have your future kids and make you feel like the best version of yourself. And just complete you, really, and just be somebody who puts a smile on your face. You're happy to see them when you walk into the house, How many of you guys have that? How many of you guys are in relationships, men and ladies, that when you get home from work and you see the other person, you get the dopamine rush that I get when a couple of, hot ladies from Williamsburg put a heart on my profile? How many of you have that when you get there and you're genuinely thrilled to see each other? Because that's nice. That's beautiful. That's what I want. That's what we all want. But I just don't really see that out in the real world. When I'm in the real world, it's just people that are frustrated with the people that they're with. And for right reasons. It doesn't seem like anybody really can talk to each other about anything. Everybody's just bottling everything up inside until they explode. Instead of having positive dialogue. And I do feel like me and my ex, we actually had a better grasp on that than most people in terms of like being able to really assess the way things work and why they're not working and what it takes to address them. Like the whole thing we embarked on with when you're arguing, if say your spouse does something that, triggered you, for lack of a better word, I hate that word. But they did something that triggered you. And instead of like what most of us want to do is be like, you did this thing and it sucked. Fuck you for doing that thing. And then that triggers them. And now we're both triggered and nobody can have a positive dialogue. So what you want to do is you got to put it on yourself. I felt unsafe when you had a loaded shotgun on the floor in the house. It made me unsafe. It's not your fault that I feel unsafe. I'm weird like that. This is a hypothetical. I'm weird like that with guns on the floor and, things. So that's how that made me feel. It has nothing to do with you. So really, now you're letting her at least know how you feel without critiquing her decisions to do a certain thing. Even though this really doesn't even help me because it's just don't have a gun on the floor, Why am I putting it on myself? You're fucking insane for doing that. Hypothetical. But yeah, so you're on these apps, dude, and it's just what I've really noticed with the apps is it's a mixture of a lot of things going on in the apps. And what it is, especially because Hinge seems to me to be the only one with like real human beings on it, Like it's people, it's just I don't know. It's people. Tinder is just animals with a few regular people on it. But I'm on it. But I'm a psycho, so I don't even really. I don't sway it in the normal direction. But what Hinge is, it's like the women who have been. Listen, I have to say the women because I'm not on there looking for men, so I don't know what the men are doing. I'm the only man I know about on there. Actually, I did go out with a chick recently who showed me her Tinder and the other dude that she matched with and their pages, and it's so wild because I never see dudes' pages, and bro, every single one of them was just dudes in the mirror. Just posing, and a lot. They were in phenomenal shape, but and to be totally honest, I'm obsessed with fitness and health and wellness. You know this, and I'm always trying to build my physique. I'd like to have a good physique, and I was impressed by these dudes' physiques more so than even like I think I care more about a man's physique than most women. Not care about it, but I'm like impressed by it more than women are, to be honest. Women don't really give a shit. So I was seeing I'm like, God damn, these guys are in good shape. But these pictures are fucking disgusting. They're so off-putting and cringeworthy and embarrassing. And it was like, bro, one dude had like 5 pictures and 3 of them were him in the gym mirror. Women not only don't, I mean, I'm sure he's getting laid. That's why he's doing that, I guess. But I feel like women, you don't really, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, you certainly don't want to settle down with that and even really fuck that. Because even if, like, I've had a lot of casual sex, and even when I'm having casual sex, it's like, if you just look like retarded, I don't want to do it. And that's what those guys look like to me. Like literal brain dead, juiced up gerbils. Like they look like even if you were to let them bang you, they would just like accidentally drool on you while they were doing it because their brain can only focus on one thing at a time. And if while they're banging you, that's what they're focused on, they forget about their other bodily functions. That's what those guys look like to me. But what's so unhealthy about it, I think, is it's just like when you're on dating apps, it's just there's infinite options. So no matter who you connect with, it's human nature to just be curious about, oh, well, what's next? Like you literally, I feel like people you are just going on dates with people, if it even gets that far. They have a good time, then they get home and they sit on the toilet and they open the app and they're like, oh shit, but there's a Korean private chef in Allentown who liked my page. Maybe that'll be more interesting. And then you forget about the chick you just had a good time with and you're on to this one, and there's zero opportunity for anything to develop. Because there's no risk or reward or balls involved in, like, bro, I could talk to 15 women a day if I wanted to. But when you're in the real world, it takes real balls to go up to a woman in a grocery store and just be like, "Hey, by the way, like, I noticed that you were in this boutique health and wellness store. Maybe that means you're also into health and wellness. That's really attractive to me. And also physically, you're really good looking. Here's my number if you have any interest in going out sometime." Like, saying that is impossible, dude. I could never do that. Bro. The situation in which I talk to a strange woman out, I don't even know it. I don't do it. I'm too worried and nervous. And I fully believe, like, I'm a good looking dude. I bring, a good amount to the table. At least, like, I'm self-aware enough to know that I won't be weird for at least the first day. And that should be enough to be able to go up to any woman and just do the thing, but it's not. I can't do women, for real, if you're listening to this, you're watching, how often are you being hit on out in public? Am I just a pussy? Is it happening a ton? Are dudes doing it often? And how much more meaningful is it to you when that happens than if a guy were to DM you on Instagram or match with you on Hinge and you were to set up a date that way? Like, even like if the guy on Hinge is a 9, because nobody's a 10 other than, like, I don't know, fucking Brad Pitt. Say he's a 9. And he's even got a solid personality and whatever the fuck. And you go out and it was off a Hinge. Does the guy who asked you out in person, even though, say, he's a 7.5, personality's even just not as hot, are you more impressed with that guy? Is that date more meaningful than the one that you got off an app? I'm curious. Because if a woman came up to me, which doesn't happen in public either, but that's not the societal norm for women to approach men in public and ask them out. But if that were to happen, that woman, the bonus points that woman would have compared to the women off of dating apps would be almost insurmountable. I'd be impressed by it. But it's just so much as a guy to go up to a woman, because it's just, we don't have a good reputation. So that's where I'm tainted. I'm almost like, this woman, I just feel like it's a bother. I just feel like I'm bothering you. And I'd rather not bother you than potentially make us both happy by getting a date set up. And then it's just like, it's like Amazon for people, bro. It's just shopping for people. Like, you're not supposed to have access to this many individuals all the time. Like, you think about your grandparents. Like, one day your grandfather, when he was 17, saw a woman he thought was pretty hot in church. And, like, through the community, figured out what her name was and, like, where she lived, and then waited outside of her house on his bike. Because that was the only option. So it wasn't creepy, because it's not like, what are you doing outside of mass? This is how you get women. So it's like, okay, he's out here because he has to be, because there's no technology. There's no phones, there's no DMing, there's no anything. So that's what he has to do. And then he's like on his bike and he says something like, "Yeah, hey, Dorothea, Love the way you looked in your skirt in the pew the other day. I'm going to pursue you no matter what, even if you say no now for a while. And then eventually the girl caves because nobody else has decided to like kind of stalk her. And then they get married and they have a love that lasts like 70 years and they have 6 kids and nothing ever really breaks them because of how insane the journey was just to get to each other. And now the journey is just so fucking simple that it falls apart simply. Modern dating is crazy, dude. I literally, the only fucking reason I got married and have a kid and got divorced is because a pandemic happened. I matched with my ex-wife on Bumble and then lockdown happened and we thought it would be a week, so I moved into her fucking apartment and then it lasted a year and it was the only option. The world was shut. I had no other choice but to like get to know a person. I couldn't meet up with anybody else. The apps were available, but everybody was off limits because we thought we all had a disease that was going to kill us. And it allowed me to give a woman a real shot. And, you know, I loved her for about, 5 years. And then I didn't. And I have a kid that I wouldn't trade for the fucking world. But that only happened because the world shut down. And I'll tell you the other thing that I'm just blown away by is, listen, it's area dependent, obviously, but the level of the level of plastic surgery going on, it's just like, it's just women who like trade, like day trade, are getting lip fillers. Like so many chicks have plastic surgery, man. And like aggressive plastic surgery. I'm on these dating apps and it's like, I can barely tell what race half of these women are because of the amount of plastic surgery they've had. You know someone's had a lot of plastic surgery when you can't tell what race they are. And I'll try to be like, I'll be talking to them, I'll be like, what's your heritage? What's your nationality? I'm just curious. And they'll be like, guess. And I'm like, well, you have the lips of Jay-Z. You got the eyes of a geisha. You got the ass of Kim Kardashian. And the nose of somebody from Whoville. So, Italian, maybe? I don't get it. And bro, I'm gonna find this video. There is a video. There's multiple videos, and maybe it's because I'm thinking about it or talking about it to other people all the time. But there's like, and makeup too, bro. And it's like I hate. It's so confusing to me that this take is like considered anti-woman when I'm like, I think women are more attractive when they don't wear makeup, and I think women are more attractive when they don't have plastic surgery. And there's been like multiple videos I've been served where this one woman, like a big influencer, she was like the hook on the caption was like, I just dissolved my lip filler for the first time in years, and like I don't know how to feel about it. And she pulled her mouth away and her hand away, and she was breathtakingly beautiful, dude. And I went to her page and found the video of her with lip filler, and she was still very attractive, but in like a less, like, I don't know, it just felt, you're attractive in the same way that all the other women who do that, you all just look like each other. You're not like, you think you're doing it to like, I don't know what you think. I feel like you think you're doing it and it's going to help you stand out and appeal. It makes you feel more beautiful, but it's just making you look like all the other women who are doing that. You all just look like distant cousins. You look like you all came from the same father who wasn't there for you. I'm kidding. That's a joke. I like to say stupid shit. It's just another chick, this like redheaded chick who had freckles. She was like, and it was good because she was like, when you discover, who you really are and how you should be with it. And she used to cake makeup, all of her, just so much makeup. And then she cut to a thing of her. Now, zero makeup, freckles out, like not fake eyelashes, not fake eyebrows. And she looked like a gift from God, dude. When you wear all that other stuff, you look like you were made in a lab rather than like a beautiful creation that came from this universe. I don't know if any of this makes sense. It's just how I feel in my heart. Every woman who hasn't like altered their appearance to me is more attractive. Maybe it's just because of like I don't know. You think I don't want a full fucking head of hair, bro? But it just feels so fraudulent to go to like Turkey and have hairs pulled out of the side of my head and shot into the top. Even when I had that fucking toupee on, dude. Like it looked cool. It looked good. It didn't look cool. I wouldn't say good. It looked good. And everybody around me was like, God damn, bro. You look fucking good. And I'm in the car on the way home, and it just felt like I was going against the universe. It just felt incorrect. It's not who I'm not a dude with hair. This, for whatever reason, this is how my head is supposed to be. Whether I grow out what I have or I buzz it, those are different decisions. But I'm like, I don't know. Just be who you're supposed to be, who you are, dude. We're all trying to be different things. And even like, it's a thing I battle constantly. Whether it's the physical appearance thing, or even internally, personality-wise. For years, I felt like I was trying to be a different dude who I was like, I like with the vibe that they're giving off. I want to be like that. And then you get to a point in your life and you're like, I don't even know who the fuck I am. And then you got to sit down. You got to fucking put your feet in the grass and you got to look at a mountain and just think about things. And you figure it out. You take deep breaths. But to permanently like alter your appearance is crazy to me. It's such an aggressive decision. What if you regret that shit? I've wanted tattoos my whole life. I got 2 when I was 30 that have like profound meaning to me. And like that I could even get rid of if I want. But like the lip filler thing, like some of them you can get dissolved. Some of them are permanent. The facelifts are permanent. The hair is permanent. The ass things, I believe, are the implants you can take out, which is nice. Even the nose jobs. There are certain ones where, like, I totally get it. Some people are walking around with a fucking parrot's beak, and it's like hooking to the left, and it's like, okay, that's clearly a struggle for you. I understand, but there's like, bro, I've been like dating women who have like beautiful bodies. And their boobs are like on the sort of small side, but they have tits, and they're great. And they're like, yeah, I've been having consultations. I think I'm gonna get fake tits. I'm just gonna put balloons under the muscle, the skeletal muscle of my body, and walk around with saline bags because it'll make me feel. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just a dude, I don't really know. It's interesting to me though. And let's talk about guys for a second who are the guys who are cracking their fucking tibias in half and then putting screws in them and then, lengthening their legs. They're literally paralyzing themselves for like a year. They have to relearn how to walk again to gain 4 inches. to go from 5'5", which is what I am, to say, okay, you get to 5'9", and guess what? Nobody gives a shit. If you are not getting women at 5'5", you're not going to get them at 5'9". You're not getting women. You're not getting women. There's a lot of double negatives here because you're 5'5". You're not getting them because you're the type of dude with a personality who thinks cracking his fucking legs in half and then being in a wheelchair and having to learn how to walk again to gain 4 inches is the personality you walk around with. That's why you're not getting women, because you're insane and you're crazy and your priorities are fucked and you have no self-confidence, clearly. Bro, to break you can't even go for a run anymore. Like, you can, but you look like Woody trying to chase down fucking Buzz. You're flailing every. Bro, you know how fucking delicate of like a dance it is? The gait that you develop in your life based on your extremities are what they're supposed to be. And now you're going, just stop going against the fucking universe, bro. You are what you are. Bro, all these celebrities are starting to look like the exact same fucking person. Strong jaw, full lips, nose pointed to the North Star a little bit. Eyes like wide, but like a little Chinese. Smooth skin. Botox is I'm chill with, honestly. If you want to get that, I get it. Smooth skin's cool. And it also wears off and shit. I dated a woman she was in her I went on a couple dates with her. And she was in her 50s. That's the first time I've really done that. And she was no work done, beautiful. And one of the funnier things I used to always think about with her is she had a son, an 18-year-old son who was the size of a Viking. I'm 5'5". He could have, if he wanted to, thrown me through a wall and killed me. And it was just always in the back of my mind. Like, how awkward will it be when if we ever get to a point where I have to go and meet her son and I'm just half his size? And then I used to think about, even if like we were to get into it and he were to just beat the shit out of me and I'm on the ground and I'm just bloodied and beaten and I'm laying just in a mess of my own just fluids. All I would have to do is just look up at him and be like, doesn't change the fact that I'm banging your mom. And I'm the winner. You can't, that is a knockout punch no matter what. Banging your mom is a Super Bowl championship, no matter what the scenario. Am I wrong? How debilitating is that, to just whoop a guy's ass? But then he gets to look up at you and be like, I banged the hole that you came out of. I owned it. You came out of it. I went in and out of it. Who are you? You're weak. You're soft. Yeah, you're 6'5" and you can bench 360. Whatever, bro. All right, I need to end this podcast. I go too long, I start getting insane. But if you're here, man, thank you. If you're not, I don't blame you. Took a long break. I don't know what I'm doing. Now that I'm like older and more aware and wiser of the thing, like what is a success and what's not. My hopes used to be, my sights, my expectations used to be way too fucking high. And now I look back and realize, because I have more experience and I've done more things, that this podcast was going really fucking well, and you guys were really supporting me, and I bailed, and I'm a weak piece of shit for that, and I was naive and ungrateful and all these other things, and to those of you who are still here, fucking thanks, appreciate you. Bye.